5 seconds.
Alright guys, welcome to the ODL 6.
Radiance
After
ban.
much delay we finally going to get down to the Goon sec versus PSquad. Warlock ban coming out, Warlock really strong teamfight hero. Sorry for the massive delay, but the VOD will be up so you can watch that whenever you want. Slark ban coming out, basically Slark, just PSquad are very notorious for not wanting to go into Slark. He's a strong hero and it's just, you have to basically pick massive lockdown to get him. And even then you can just get a BKB and Dark Pack majority of the
10 seconds to
majority
go.
of the holds away. Magnus ban coming out for the boys on Goon. Magnus, really strong hero in the meta right now.
Dyer's
RP
pit.
plus Empower is super overpowered. Abaddon ban coming out. Abaddon, extremely strong lane support for the boys at PSquad. PSquad essentially just sort of seeming to go for a kind of, we don't want to fight anyone that can be pick off and gank orientated. So Slark, Abaddon, and someone else usually make quite a strong lane, usually a ranged hero. Lina pick coming up from the Goon sack. So Lina, really strong laning hero, high nuke potential, high carry potential late game. Very flavor of the month right now, just because of the major essentially.
10 seconds to go.
And she essentially just is a lane dominating hero with the ability to scale really well in the mid game with high nuke percentage, and then scale late game with a passive of Fiery Soul. So just see what PSquad to go for. Ogre Magi, really strong laning hero. Probably a good reason to ban an Abaddon then, because if an Abaddon actually quite hard counters Ogre Magi, it can kind of go toe to toe with the shield as a purge as well. So Abaddon and Ogre Magi, pretty strong lane heroes there. Since they had the second pick in a row, I'd probably have suggested going with Ogre Magi and Abaddon if they wanted to go for a super lane overpowered combo, but Lich is also another hero that is still in the pool that they could probably pick up. So Lich or a Rubik or something like that would be pretty strong right now for a very good aggressive tri-lane or possibly even a defensive one. Can't really tell what's going to go on now from this, but they like to sort of roam with this a team fight orientated build, if you will, with usually a 4 protect 1, maybe sometimes a 2 cores and then 3 supports with a semi carry in the middle. So we'll probably see something coming out here that's probably a 2 or a 3 pick, but probably not their day one position. Ogre Magi probably going to be in the 5 position role there, so I wouldn't be surprised to see something like maybe even a Legion pickup coming here. Legion is quite good against Lina because she can shut down Lina in a duel, which means Lina can't actually spam any spells. Now the problem is if Lina does actually get off a few spells, she does quite a lot of right-click damage. And Treant Protector actually really strong support pickup coming here. So it looks like Ogre Magi and Treant Protector going to be picking up the 4 and 5 role. Not really respectively each one of them. Treant's usually a bit harder of a support than Ogre Magi, but he also does really well with some farm. Crystal Maiden and Lina, nice little sister combo going up there. Crystal Maiden, really good for mana regen. Lina, really strong lane dominator. Basically, Crystal Maiden activates Lina and the rest of her team with a nice aura. She's also extremely powerful in lane, so looks like we're going to have a pretty strong lane. Currently, the PSquad have a slightly better lane going on. Slardar ban and Terrorblade ban coming in PSquad. I was just talking to Karoti. He absolutely hates Terrorblade. Basically, he just sees the strength in Terrorblade and a Slardar pick. Slardar, a really strong 4 pick. Juggernaut, Dazzle ban coming out. Dazzle, really strong laning hero, not wanting to sort of contest against the Crystal Maiden in lane. Probably one of the few that can beat her in lane. Juggernaut, really strong hero. Absolutely smashes the Crystal Maiden because as soon as she frostbites, you just spin and absolutely destroy her. Not to mention, Juggernaut and Crystal Maiden is actually a really powerful combo, so banning it, and I guess they really didn't want to see the Juggernaut Ogre Treant, which would be a try melee lane, but a very strong one with the hidden Treant Protector sort of booping you in the head every now and then. Death Prophet. Oof, Death Prophet, I haven't seen that in a while. Picked in the Kev Major just recently. Really strong hero for pushing. Also very strong hero for a sort of solo 1v1 lane. Saw some male, I think it was, playing. Yeah, I think it was EG Sumail playing Death Prophet and absolutely doing a great job on that. Basically be able to easily 1v1 a TA. Death Prophet's probably going to be in the mid here. Now, she's extremely strong because she just has the ability to outlane you with her Siphon Soul, and Crypt Swarm is just pushing the lane, so she's always going to you're always going to have the lane in the tower, which is going to affect your right-clicking, and then the Siphon Soul and Silence, if she really wants to do it, but Siphon Soul basically just means that she's incredibly tanky, and you're not, and you're slow, which can just pick you off with right-clicks. Really strong Axe pickup coming here. Now, with the 2 melee here, if they do pick another melee, Axe will just become stronger and stronger, because the closer you are to Axe, the obviously you get hit with spin, so Axe is really good counter to melee. Kind of like a Techies, but more of an active role than a passive mine lane role. So Axe just coming out there for the whole, we want to get Axe a Blink Dagger mid and then just push, push, push. And looks like Lena and Crystal Maiden going to provide Axe with a lot of damage and support behind that. Luna pick coming out here, very strong. She's quite a ranged hero. She's got a short range attack, but with a Dragon Lance, she's actually quite formidable. Axe still be able to counter Helix pretty well. She's also quite squishy as well, so we don't really see any tanky heroes on the side of the Radiant. Ogre Magi and Treant pretty tanky, and Living Armor will make heroes tanky, but if either of those get, if Treant Protector, Death Prophet, or Luna get caught and the Axe called in, it's actually going to be quite a good call, because Luna won't be able to deal that damage, neither will Death Prophet, and Treant won't be able to protect anyone. Treant will bash Axe if he gets caught in stealth, but yeah, it looks like if Axe gets a decent lane setup, he should be able to counterattack, sort of carry the dire side a bit for with the Lena behind him just pummeling away with damage, and actually Lena just going to pick off whoever Axe calls, and they'll just be turning into a 45 usually really quickly, or whatever the numbers are. I still give the laning phase to the boys of the other Radiant. Ogre, Treant, and Luna is an extremely powerful lane. Luna has a lot of right-click damage, and she can buff up her allies with her aura. Look, we just got a token Pudge coming out here. I want to see how this works actually, because Pudge is a really strong pickup, and the anti-mage ban coming out, because they're really just going, you know what, you guys haven't picked a hard carry yet, so anti-mage would be an extremely powerful hard carry, except for Death Prophet Silence. So Death Prophet Silence and maybe one stun and overgrowth is pretty good for locking down the anti-mage. So anti-mage would still be powerful, but they do have some lockdown from, not a lot mind you, but they still do have some, so I wouldn't mind seeing a ban come out from dire side to essentially ban an extremely strong offlaner such as a Tide Hunter or something that just gives them this insane team fight. Death Prophet, Ult, Tide Hunter, Treant, and Luna. You can't really team fight against that, because the Tide Hunter can just blink in and ravage you if the Treant doesn't get a really good overgrowth. So Tide Hunter would be an extremely powerful pick here. Enigma would be alright, but Treant would be forced into the offlane where he'd get solo levels and probably get killed quite a bit by the Pudge Crystal Maiden lane that I foresee coming up. Now, if Axe wants to go jungle, then they'd swap a jungle for a jungler, and I think that I'd give that to the Radiant side, but I'd really like to see, like a Tide Hunter, or maybe a Centaur, or, Timbersaw is not a bad pick-off actually, but Timbersaw does a lot of damage, which the Radiant team aren't really lacking damage in the form of Death Prophet Ult, Luna Ult, and a bit of buff from the Ogre Magi. They could definitely do with a Timbersaw, would be amazing. But there's a lot of magic damage and pure damage, if you will, on the side of the Dire. So Timbersaw's not really there. There's not a lot of physical, and that's where Timbersaw really shines, is the physical damage, just because of his armor that he gains from reactive armor. So I think a Tide Hunter would have been a much better ban, but we'll see what they pick up. So the boys on the Goon basically just going to go for a Lena Crystal Maiden. Lena probably mid, Axe most likely in the offlane, Pudge Crystal Maiden, and then a carry to be named later. You could even go for something like a Spectre or a Weaver. So basically the Goon Tech have put a timer. This is quite a cheesy draft, if you will. It's a timer basically where they're saying, look, we're going to hit you guys around like 25-30 minutes. If you're not ready, you're just going to die. Ooh, an Earth Spirit. Okay, so the lanes are a little bit different then. It looks like they might be going for an aggressive run. Earth Spirit is one of those heroes that's interesting, if you will. He hasn't really been a massive flavor of the month, but he's still an extremely powerful hero if played right. He's also very, very complex to play, and generally he's kind of like a miniature invoker, but a support one. He has a great silence, a great stun, and his ultimate is also good for teamfights. So once again, if you engage the PSquad when they're ready, the Radiant, when they are ready to teamfight you, you will pretty much lose that. They don't really have much teamfight on the side of the Dire side, except for Crystal Maiden, maybe an Axe. That's really about it, but they do have a lot of nuke and a lot of burst. They've also got a really strong fighting lineup. Now, the Weaver pick I'm not very, very fond of here, just because Weaver doesn't carry that well late. Weaver is amazing in lane, very, very powerful. But if the Weaver gets some farm, he's still the Weaver, and it will be able to pick off heroes like the Luna maybe and a few other things, but if you get Dust, Overgrowth's just going to stomp you down. Silence is there. You've got another Silence in the Earth Spirit, and then you've got the Ogre Magi to stun you and nuke you down when you don't have a lot of health. Looks like there's a quick smoke coming up from the boys on the Goon sec. Pudge immediately just running forward. We're going to probably pop a ward down on here just for some easy hooks later on. I'm not sure if Pudge is going to be mid or if it's going to be Lena as a support, because this is going to be a really interesting laning otherwise. Looks like we're going to have the Luna and the Ogre Magi. There's just two that just go really well together. Treant going to be in that tri lane there with some serious aggression. Basically just going to help the Luna to absolutely stomp enemies just by booping them on the head and keeping Luna alive. Looks like we've got Death Prophet mid and yeah, interesting banner that they have. And Earth Spirit probably going to go into the offlane. Pudge maybe offlane. Lena definitely should be mid. Or maybe it's the Axe offlane and Jesus is just basically here to make sure that they do get the run. Now, the Weaver is basically one of the heroes that can solo by
30
himself, so it looks like
seconds
they're
to
actually going to go for an
showtime.
aggressive offlane with the Axe. I like this, actually. This is a really strong lane. One, the Axe is extremely strong. If you get a nice hook, that puts them completely out of position, and Axe can basically just finish the job with a Crystal Maiden holding them in place. So so Crystal Maiden's going to actually go safe lane, so that's a little bit different then. Crystal Maiden plus the Weaver isn't really that strong of a lane because the Earth Spirit can just roll away. Now, if you catch him during the roll, you're fine. If you Weaver runs in front of him, then yes, he won't be able to roll away and they might get a kill. But
And
Earth
they're
Spirit is
off.
he's not super tanky, but he's not that easy to kill either. So that's a little bit of an interesting lane. I really would like to see the Crystal Maiden go with an aggressive tri-lane and absolutely just destroy the Lunar and the Treant, or something like the Ogre would be pretty difficult to kill, but if they get it, yeah, why not? Weaver can basically just absolutely solo this lane by himself, get lots of experience, and slowly just threaten the Earth Spirit to die, because the Earth Spirit does have a silence and a bit of a stun, but if Weaver gets enough damage on him, it doesn't matter, you just won't be able to man-fight him. Okay, so we've just got a bit of a pause here. So this game looks like it's going to take quite a while. Yeah, so I can definitely see that they just they've made an interesting banner there. The boys on the Goon have definitely made a banner as well. It's quite a nice banner. So Death Prophet leveling Silence first. Interesting first spell choice. I'm not sure if that was a misclick or not, but usually you go Carrion Swarm to either push out the lane or you go Spirit Siphon for a massive gank. Silence first isn't really a great spell. It doesn't actually give you any benefits. It sort of hampers your opponent. So you're essentially relying on your opponent to essentially put himself in a bad position, whereas the Spirit Siphon can actually give you an advantage where you force them to make a mistake or something. Whereas the Silence is essentially like saying, oh, you can't cast any spells now. And it's like, well, it's a fucking Lena, so she's just going to keep right-clicking you down anyway. It doesn't matter. Definitely Spirit Siphon first or Crypt Swarm. The reason Crypt Swarm is because pushing the wave is actually really powerful against Lena because her right-click animation is very hard to pull off, and under the tower she'd be fairly hard pressed to actually hit the creeps. Whereas the Spirit Siphon, she can just run up and actually kill you. No matter, you can get a couple of stuns, but she heals and she damages you, so it's pretty powerful. The aggressive offline for the Dire side, Axe definitely counter Helix first always. It looks like the Pudge hasn't skilled up yet, so he could go for Rot or for Hook. Hook is basically going to be like one of those, aha, I got you, and that's first blood, or not really, whereas Rot is a sort of safer bet where you can guarantee that you will usually get a first blood. Pudge might die, but you will usually get a first blood from that. Hook is generally a bit more interesting, and you picked a Pudge, so there's no point playing it safe. Let's go with the last deniers, start up there. Not really going to be too much going on here. Looks like Lena just taking a quick advantage there, just with Dragon Slave first. Dragon Slave a much more powerful ability. The Light Striker rate is good in lane, but it's kind of the similar principle in the as the Silence, where it's sort of like you're not going in an aggressive way. With Pudge, be careful. He doesn't have a lot of armor, and he can actually get right-clicked down by the tree and the Ogre Magi quite easily, and Jesus can as well. So they don't have a Sentry Ward for down bottom, and this is actually pretty bad. You should really okay, so Hand1 should really level up Hook and just should have straight hooked the tree as soon as he's walking away. That would have pretty much guaranteed a kill there. Or if not a kill, just actual massive amounts of damage on him. And that does mean that the Pudge would not have had much mana, but might as well use it. So it looks like Connor definitely beating out this Earth Spirit here. Pretty even as far as things go, just so far at the first couple of waves, but I'm expecting the Weaver to just slowly out-level him. It looks like Treant just doing Treant things. Now this is a tri-lane and Pudge is going to roam, but a roaming Pudge is really sad, and he's gone for Rot, which is just not very good. Lena definitely out-leveling the Death Prophet. It's like, see, this is why Silence is just really bad. You've got nothing. Like, what do you actually have? And the Pudge is going to come and see. If he had Hook there, he could have at least thrown out a Hook and probably gone for the kill. Ooh, is he gonna sense it? No, he's not. Okay, so the Death Prophet is just going to run around. With the Spirit Siphon, she could have possibly turned out and maybe fought the Lena. So Silence was really bad choice there. Really good play here from Jesus, just sort of realizing, hey, we need Sentry Wards in this lane. There's no way we can't without the tree scoping around. Pudge essentially just guaranteeing that Lena will definitely have this lane quite easily. We have Lena, Luna, and then Weaver. So Weaver's definitely winning, but Urspirit's very close up there, and Axe better be actually pretty careful here. They don't have a lot of magic damage yet, but they will slowly get to a lot of magic damage. Okay, what's going on here? We've got a couple of pauses just coming out. Looks like we've got some internet problems and a few other things here. This is sometimes unfortunately happens with student flights when you've got your internet going and then somebody will be downloading something in the background, just can't run your internet, or you've got to jump onto a Wi-Fi hotspot. So this game, unfortunately, with enough pauses, I really wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit of tension here soon, just based off the fact that, well, we've already had to wait for quite a while, so they might get a little bit toey at that. Weaver definitely coming out ahead here. Now, it's gone for a 1 first against an Esprit. I can see that. I can see the benefit of that, but I think it might have been better to just go for something like a just pure damage build and straight up gone for Blightstone and something else like maybe even just go straight for a Wraith Band and Tangos. Now, the reason he's probably gone for this build is because he was expecting to go against a much harder lane. Maybe trying to dodge. They were probably trying to dodge the aggressive Trino, which I thought. So it's gone for more of a defensive one. So the tree kind of gives away a defensive Trino. However, he can be played in aggressive, so fair enough, fair enough. The wand isn't really actually doing much for the Weaver here. It's not really helping him harass either. Whereas a Blightstone and a Wraith Band will basically force every time you've got Geminate attack, or if you just right click the Earth Spirit, and it'll hit him twice, and he'll basically take almost like a quarter of his life in damage because he's got a high armor stat, but basically it negates it. It's very, very powerful on a Weaver. Any ranged hero should always get the Blightstone in lane if they're up against the 1v1. It just gives you an amazing damage advantage. Looks like Axe just going to go for the old casual Tranquil Boots.
Alright, carry on.
Yeah, a nice Crypt Swarm cancelling out the clarity there in mid lane. Lena's still sort of having a decent advantage here. Death Prophet has only got 2 last hits, whereas Lena's got like 11, so it's quite a big advantage. She's also managing to completely force the Death Prophet back and just waste her regen. So this is where Siphon Soul comes out. Spirit Siphon, or whatever the hell it's called. Spirit Siphon is absolutely overpowered. If you have 2 points in the Spirit Siphon, you can essentially take on the Lena because you know she doesn't have a lot of mana. She's spent a lot of it, so all she's got is 1 more Dragon Slave. And once she's thrown out that burst, you're essentially draining her health and you're gaining health. So she's got to essentially commit 100% to killing you, or she has to back up immediately. And most of the time she'll have to back up just because she just cannot actually tank that. So Axe is just getting some good counter hurling spins off here. Spin City. Crystal Maiden hitting level 2, getting that juicy aura straight for her team. Yep, naturally. Now Weaver will have a much easier time in lane. Good. Yeah, okay. So Weaver did definitely go for the Blightstone, which is one of the best items on Weaver. Absolutely overpowered really on this hero, I feel. Just the double hit with German attack is so powerful. It looks like Lena actually might be in a little bit of trouble here. She's okay for the meantime, but she was absolutely crushing the Death Prophet in the lane. 18-6, it's 3 times the last hits, so she's basically got an entire level on her. Lena leading the last hits. Luna not so far behind. Now, depending on how the Luna likes to play and whether or not she wants to actually just push the lane out, she'll either get another point in Luna Blessing, go for that super right-click damage, or she'll go for Moonglaive and start the farm train up, basically. I feel Pudge going for not going for Hook and not really just having faith in his abilities at the start, or whatever excuse he did for going for Rot first. If he'd gone for Hook, they could have essentially gotten a few kills and put themselves on the board and really scared the Raiden a bit more on that tri-lane. But they are doing a bit better, and it looks like the team essentially is... It's 50-50, but the Goon Sack is slowly pulling ahead, and the graph's just sort of showing that there. But it's mostly the Lena and the Weaver that are doing that, because they've just got an insanely higher farm than the opponent. Now, definitely Earth Spirit's up there. Earth Spirit is, unfortunately, he's not amazing with farm. Like, he's good, definitely, not going to deny it, but he's not one of those, oh crap, Earth Spirit's got a lot of farm, guys, watch out. It's more like, oh crap, the Lena's got a lot of farm, or crap, the Luna has, and the Axe has, and they got a blink, and the rest of the team is just going to die. I like this invisibility play here from the Pudge. Although Lena is quite far up, and she's acting a little bit strange, so what the Pudge should really do is come hide in the trees here, and just go for that hook. Just go for it, man. Like, you miss 100% of the hooks you don't throw, buddy. Lena could almost just get like a stun, and then Pudge could just walk in. They've really got to commit to this kill, or else the invisibility will wear off pretty soon. And there it is. There it is. Unfortunately, right during the creep wave, he gets the rod off just in time, and it looks like there is no Siphon Soul. Okay, there is just barely a Siphon Soul, so the Pudge is going to die. However, if she'd gotten the Siphon Soul off first, and then gone for the silence, she might have been able to run away from the Pudge because it would have slowed him down. Still, slight misplay there from the Death Prophet, but still, she was most likely dead anyway. Lena had a huge amount of damage. Axe doing really well in lane. So this basically is cementing Lena's net worth. So we'll just move to the net worth chart a little bit there. Lena definitely in the lead. Weaver not far behind, and then it's Luna in the safe lane, getting a decent amount of farm here. I'm probably going to see her go for a wand, and then into a Dragon Lance. Hopefully, she might go for a Manta. She's just got pure farm. Pudge, nice smoke up here. It's going to be revealed, and does he know it's? He knows it's Yoga. You got to take that. You got to take that hook. Oh, he doesn't. Can he see the Yoga? Oh no, he was going for the Loon, unfortunately. I wonder what item Pudge. Okay, so Pudge is going to go for Earner's Shadow. It's really, really good item on Pudge. Gives him lots of health and mana regen. Weaver just having a ton of his life in lane here. The problem is though, Weaver has to he may want to just stay in lane for a while, but he has to actually leave the lane around about 20 minutes or so, and then just have to go as 5. Once Axe gets his blink, Weaver will probably start push this tower down a bit more and just put on a lot of pressure into the actual into that lane, and then hopefully get some farm, move with his team, and then they basically just roam as 5 and force the teamfight ults out, and then just disengage as quickly as possible. Like maybe sacrifice the Pudge for 2 teamfight ults, and then or just go for pick-offs and sort of fight it 4v5. So if you pick off the Luna, that's your massive teamfight damage down. If you pick off the tree, it's no overgrowth. You pick off the Ogre Magi, I guess no Ignite and Bloodlust, and nothing super strong. Okay, Lena got a really nice rune, Arcane, absolutely broken on any kind of spellcaster, Storm Spirit, Lena, all that sort of stuff. Okay, it looks like we've got a bit of an engagement going on top of it, but this is the problem. So if Weaver got in front of him, that would be a dead Earth Spirit. So unfortunately, you don't want to take the damage, but you also don't want to oh, Lena in a little bit of trouble. You're going to get booped. Oh, okay, unfortunately missing the timing there, but looks like she's going to go down anyway. Okay, just barely making it out. Now, she should really throw down a stun just for that counter kill, but not going to make it. Okay, so Pudge coming in here, or maybe a little bit of hook. If you do run in front of the Earth Spirit, then he does basically... Okay, really, really poor play there going on from the boys in Goon. Well played from Lena, essentially making that well played from the Lena, essentially recovering that kill. But really poor communication there from the Pudge and the Crystal Maiden. Jesus really has to get out of the way and let Pudge just throw his hook, because if Pudge throws his hook and lands it, then it's fine. But if Pudge throws his hook and it hits the CM, then it's kind of bad. Either one of them should have gone forward and CM hold in place, and then Pudge land hook. But if the Pudge isn't confident enough about landing hooks, then he really shouldn't be playing Pudge. I really like the pick, I really do. I love a Pudge in a game. But he really needs to sort of just throw those hooks out and not care what the team says. If the team give you shit about it, just shrug it off, man. You got to do it. You're going to land that one amazing hook that's going to pretty much win the game at some point. Pudge nearly level 4, probably going to get either Flesh Heap or Double Rot. Now, Double Rot is going for that super damage, Glass Cannon build, whereas the Flesh Heap gives you a lot more tankability. Now, I'll probably go for Flesh Heap, but that's my personal preference. Rot. Yeah, Rot's there. If you get 2 or 3 kills, I think Flesh Heap is actually really, really powerful. Like Weaver in lane. Oh, okay, so Weaver's gonna go straight for that Dragon Lance, really powerful item here. Okay, so Weaver really wants to get in front of the Earth Spirit. Unfortunately, Earth Spirit doing quite a lot of damage to Weaver here, and Weaver running away. Now this is not what you want to do. Okay, you've got the time lapse. Just one more hit, and then time lapse nicely done. Okay, so it looks like bottom lane. Weaver just basically taking a nice pick off on the Earth Spirit there. That's kind of what you want to do. You outright click to him, and he does a lot of damage over time to you. So you want to kill him and then time lapse straight out of it. So really well played by the Weaver there. Probably going to get a Dragon Lance first. I wouldn't mind seeing a Ring of Regen on him just for that safety sake of negating all the damage over time from the Earth Spirit and just totally dominating his lane. But then it's a slightly more passive pick, and I guess that's what the wand is for. The aggressive tri-lane of the Poison Lagoon is actually doing really, really well. Pudge, one of those picks that just kind of scares everyone. Okay, sorry, I missed a bit of a kill here. Lena essentially just getting an easy pick off on the Death Prophet. Now, it looks like the Death Prophet didn't really get the chance to use any of her items, so maybe Lena picked up an invisibility rune or just sort of caught her off guard. If Lena gets a stun, Dragon Slave, and Laguna Blade, you're just dead as Death Prophet. The silence is useful in one aspect, and that stops that, but it stops it halfway through, and she's probably going to kill you anyway. So, versing Lena, a Death Prophet just generally loses, but you really need support, or you need to get the advantage on her, and she hasn't really been able to push her out of lane, so the net worth of the Death Prophet is really low. It's like almost half of the Lina, so Lina's just going to snowball out of control. She's going to have to rely on her team to help bring her back into this. Pudge just missing a little bit of a hook there. Yeah, I saw that, bud. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just keep trying, keep trying. You're going to get that mean hook that's essentially going to catch, like, I don't know, it's going to hook your Crystal Maiden into a perfect altar. It's going to get on, like, YouTube. It's going to be amazing. You got to throw out those hooks. Pudge not opting for the teardrops, I think it is. What are they called? Yes, the infused raindrops. Infused raindrops are extremely powerful on Pudge. One, they actually block your own damage against you, which is nifty if it triggers after a point, and also it gives you a lot of mana regen, which is something that Pudge lacks early game. Lina just sort of sitting down here, hoping to use this invisibility rune. I hope they turn this into push. If they don't, it's kind of a waste of all of their time. So Pudge is just coming down here. They really want to scan down the bottom, actually, just to make sure the Luna's still there. They're not revealing themselves for some unknown reason, but like the Luna knows there's a gank. It's pretty obvious that there's a gank there. Okay, so Lina just going back mid, realizing, yeah, guys, I need to keep my advantage here. Just really, really smart play from the Lina there. Weaver just dominating this lane. High farm, high net worth. He's going to be able to push this lane pretty quick. I see he's just... so he's just going to take the creep wave out of here. He's got to be a bit careful because Tree could probably boop him on the head and get some TPs in that might be able to threaten him, to force him to use his time lapse, but nothing really super serious. So Lina just really not scared here. Okay, so a nice axe on the blink there. Unfortunately, Kurochan missing, and there's a nice stun on the Lina, and she's probably going to get the kill, but she's gone straight for... She's gone straight with a nice cull from the axe. She went straight for the Death Prophet instead, thinking that they actually get a call off, but he was silent, so unfortunately he couldn't. So Lina unfortunately going down there, which is a really, really powerful kill, but going down before the Death Prophet, so Death Prophet did not benefit from that. Nice ultimate there from the Spirit, and eventually picking off the Lina, who's probably the highest net worth in the game at the point, and she's probably dropped a little bit there, but it's not a big issue. She's still really, really high up there, and she's definitely crushing the Death Prophet. Point is there that the Earth Spirit definitely gets that, but it's still, once again, it's an Earth Spirit, so it's not that scary. Okay, so Weaver needs to be really careful here. He's probably going to get out of here. Yeah, time lapse and then just Chikuchi out. Oh, he got a lovely silence there from the Death Prophet. Value point in it, but unfortunately it's still a Weaver, so he's just going to escape after a while. So this is the thing with silence. The value point in it is actually only useful once you get to a certain point. You kind of, if you pick a Death Prophet, you don't pick a Death Prophet for her silence. You pick a Drow for a silence, or you pick like an Earth Spirit for silence, or you pick someone else for a disable. You pick Death Prophet for her ability to push and her ability to just dominate lane with Siphon Soul. Usually you go for phase boots right off the bat, just so you can charge up an enemy and basically guarantee that first blood kill, or get an extremely early lane lead. Looks like Lina just catching up on time here, essentially getting back into it, going for a Bloodstone, really strong item for her, I think, gives her a lot of survivability and the ability to just spam spells. Okay, nice axe core coming out on the tree here. Now, he doesn't have level 6, so he's just dead. Level 6 wouldn't have made much difference, but he could have got a nice overgrowth, and the enemy team could have come in. It looks like Goonsack is actually just stomping the PSquad here. Now, this does not mean that either team gets eliminated. If Goon Squad does win, then Goon Squad have to play Lettuce, which means that there's actually more games, which I'm actually looking forward to. More games is generally better, but it will basically mean that the round robin will reset if Goonsack win this. However, if PSquad move through, they will move through the lower bracket. No one will be eliminated on this. Sorry, if Goonsack lose, they will be eliminated out of the tournament. You just got a decent bit of farm coming here. So essentially, the boys at Radiant and PSquad essentially just trying to play catch up here. The top 3 heroes are on the dire side, which is kind of scary, and this is what their lineup is designed for. So Luna, they've really got to try and protect Luna here because she's the only one that can go late against this team, and she's just getting crushed by the enemies. So they really want to just focus on protecting the Luna. So Earth Spirit and Trian's main job right now should just be keep the Luna alive because she's really our only hope now. Death Prophet, yeah, you're pretty much gone. Just try to play it as safe as you possibly can. This is almost like a pub stomp, if you will. Lina just sort of not wanting to go on that. I'm assuming because she just thought that she might die again, but also she didn't really have the mana to just throw out the Lunatic Underblade plus another Dragon Slave to secure the kill. So Trian should basically keep the Luna alive as much as he can, just so that the Luna can actually just get farm and out carry them. Once he gets BKB, that team's kind of useless. Weaver does some damage, yes, as physical, but he has to sort of Sakuchi away because he'll be so weak. He's got a Dragon Lance, which makes him a bit tankier, but it doesn't really compete to like a Lunar Ult plus, Death Prophet and an Earth Spirit just sort of pummeling away. So Death Prophet getting a bit of farm down the bottom here. She's still extremely poor. The Earth Spirit's on the same level as her, and the top net worth for the Radiant side is essentially the Luna, who is going for a Dragon Lance just to increase the range and keep her a little bit out of harm's way there. Now, going for a Manta is great, but it's a little bit harder to get than that, and it doesn't really give you the immediate benefits of the Ogre Club with the strength that keeps her reliable. No, she's currently got Agi Treads on, which is really powerful for farming, but when you want to go into battle, you generally want to swap to Strength Treads. Ooh, looks like there's a nice call here on the Death Prophet. She's probably just going to go down here. She actually, it's a nice silence up. Now, this is where the Siphon Soul has to come in. Now, it does it based on percent damage. Oh, okay, so getting in the way there of the the hook, and the Pudge is going to go down nicely. Oh, he denied himself, and the Luna just comes in to clean up the enemy. TP out there from... Sorry, TP out there from the Crystal Maiden, just not getting killed by the Tree and Protector. A little bit of lack of coordination, I feel like, on the Radiant team, essentially. When the Death Prophet decided to go back in, she probably should have just kept them at bay there, because they were silenced, but only for 3 seconds. As soon as the silence ran out, they had a much stronger kill potential. So you kind of just want your team to be right there and just focus the Pudge down straight away, or just focus on the Axe. They're both really tanky heroes, though, so you kind of just want to, if it's a Pudge or an Axe, just back up straight away. If it's a Lena or a Crystal Maiden or a Weaver and you manage to catch them off guard, just go hard and kill them as quick as possible, because they will kill you otherwise. Crystal Maiden gets some nice levels here. Level 7, so Crystal Maiden basically is higher than the... Oh, sorry, I thought she was higher than the mid there, but she's higher than the other supports, except for the Earth Spirit, who got a solo lane, so he's essentially the offlaner. Looks like Pudge and Axe just roaming around for kills. This is really powerful, I like this. Pudge and Axe make a really powerful combo. Axe can blink and call and just move out of the way so the Pudge can eventually get the hook, land into a Dismember, and then Axe can come running in and just do chop chop. It's a really powerful combo because of the guaranteed disable in the Berserker's Call, which Axe has not actually maxed out. This is very odd. I guess Battle Hunger is pretty powerful, but usually if you max out Battle Hunger, you usually go for like a Mana Boots build into something ridiculous like a... what's it called? The one... Sorry, into a Aether Lens, just for that little bit of extra damage from the ticks, because it's non-deniable, essentially. And the heroes on the opponent's team don't actually have that higher health. Okay, so they see the Pudge. They know the Pudge is up here. There's a really nice stun there coming out from the Earth Spirit, but unfortunately Act comes in with a counter initiation just to sort of threaten, hey, we can kill you if you go after our Pudge. Weaver getting absolutely free farm top. It's great. He's got a Desolator. That's the scariest thing ever. Weaver with Desolator is ridiculously powerful. Looks like Axe is going to just sort of not really get the call off there. Now that is one of the benefits of maxing out the call, is the ability of the cooldown. So every 10 seconds you can basically reinitiate, force the opponents to kill you, to attack you, and maybe kill them back, or actually save an opponent. But otherwise, the boys in the Dire are definitely winning this game. Look, they got a really strong pickup going here, and their draft is essentially, they're playing to their draft, whereas it looks like the Radiant team are kind of being caught off guard. Don't know whether it's this Pudge pick or what actual pick it was, but I think that the Death Prophet pick was actually quite weak on their team. Death Prophet is a strong hero, but not against Lena, and not if she loses the lane heavily. So they sort of didn't really cater to the fact that if Death Prophet loses the lane, then Lena's going to get too powerful and basically be able to kill every single hero in our team. Bar maybe... Lena can absolutely kill any hero in there right now, just with the amount of burst that she can deal. Looks like she's going for a Yule Scepter just for that perfect setup. Going to see a lot of skills going on there, maybe a miss here and there. Definitely will record that, pop it online, make sure that she knows that she missed the stun. Otherwise, I think a Scepter would be pretty good, or Aether Lens, one of the two. Just ramp up that damage. You're ahead, just get further and further ahead. Yule Scepter does give her the option to save her ass occasionally, which would be really powerful if she's, say, silenced from the Earth Spirit or the Death Prophet. Nice smoke coming out here from the boys on the Radiant team. Sort of realizing, hey, look, we need to get a pick off, and they find a really nice pick off, easy pick off on the Crystal Maiden there. That should be a dead Crystal Maiden, unless the Pudge gets a brilliant hook to save. Unfortunately, the Roots can prevent it, and now the Death Prophet realizing that the Weaver is just too hard to kill, but they have to be careful. If they go up here, they're gonna just die. Yeah, and Lena's just so strong right now. Double damage, and Desolator Weaver absolutely crushing. This is 20 minutes. This is essentially when Weaver wants to leave lane. Weaver has had an amazing time. He's incredibly hard to kill, and all he's got now is just the damage. Really careful Luna really carefully TPing out, but unfortunately getting spotted out. Correct movement there from Luna, just realizing, oh hey, the axe is coming in, he's going to call me regardless. So trying to escape, but unfortunately not making it out. Looks like the only survivor was the Earth Spirit, so really well played by the Earth Spirit, but still, Earth Spirit surviving, you prefer the Earth Spirit to die and like the Luna to survive. So this is a really hard game for the Radiants to play basically. The way to come back into this is they have to play extremely safe, defend high ground, hope that the dire side make a mistake essentially, and just get lucky really right now. They've got seriously sick teamfight ult, they just need to get it off. The reason that they didn't win that fight there was it was a 5v2, but they chased essentially. They didn't lock any of the heroes down. The tree really wants to. You want the tree to initiate, not really the Earth Spread, because the Earth Spread can't lock them down, and neither can the Death Prophet. The Death Prophet can slow, but it can't lock down. So you want the tree to come in, pop a nice root, and then the team is stuck there essentially, and then just going to get wailed on by the Luna, Death Prophet, and the Earth Spirit. And the Earth Spirit kind of wants to sit back and wait for those counter initiations. He got a really nice start off on the Crystal Maiden, but unfortunately once the Crystal Maiden was no longer silenced, she turned around to the Frostbite, and it doesn't matter, Crystal Maiden's happy to die for the rest of the team, which kind of happened. Crystal Maiden died and they got like 4 kills, which just pushed them even further and further ahead. And it looks like the boys on the Goon are absolutely just stomping now. 15,000 gold lead, pushing towards 20. Like I said, the only way that Radiant really want to come back into this and have the ability to come back into this is give all the farm to Luna, rush a BKB, and then as soon as Luna gets that BKB, you know, play extremely safe but fight. You want to fight when your team fight ults are up. So when Luna has her ult up, Death Prophet has her ult, Earth Spirit has ult, and Trent has the ult up. Pop a smoke, go get 2, then run back and play safe. If they decide to chase you, then let them chase you essentially, and just try to pick off as many as you can when they're trying to outnumber them. Play extremely safe, but extremely smart as well. There's no way you come back into this if you make any mistakes. If you make a single mistake, basically this game, you will just instantly get punished by it, as was before, where they chased. They ran into a nice choke here where Weaver was just sitting and waiting for them, and they managed to neatly pick off the Pudge. They did get to see him, which was good, but as soon as the Death Prophet ran down, the Lina just sort of destroyed her with a double damage, which was fortunate and a bit of RNG, but still, the Lina would have got the kill regardless. That was a dead Death Prophet. Death Prophet has some of the lowest farm in the game. She shouldn't be running and initiating. Like I said, the tree should be running and initiating, because if he dies, it's like, oh, big whoop, the tree's dead. It's a tragedy because global warming and save the rainforest, etc., etc. But the tree itself, once he pops overgrowth, heals the hero, leech seed, he's done. He's done for the fight pretty much. The Ogre Magi can still do a bit of magic damage and nuke damage, and there's also really tanky and should be running in there with the tree to just absorb as much of the initial burst as possible. And after if that happens, Lena's got to save her massive burst for the rest of the heroes. She can't just pick them off easily if she wants to, add a couple Bloodstone charges, but she's got to save them for like the Luna and that sort of stuff. And then have the Death Prophet and Luna come into the background and just be ignored, if you will. Hopefully, yeah, they have to rely on the dire side ignoring them. So hopefully the dire side will make mistakes and Radiant come back into this, otherwise looks like the boys on the Goon are going to take this quite convincingly. Top 3 net worth, absolutely stomping. We've got Lina, Weaver, and Axe. Seriously strong initiation. Okay, really nice counter initiation here by the CM. And okay, the Pudge just not really having the length of the hook that he really wanted to. But this is also one of the things. Earth Spirit's got a lot of farm, so he's actually really quite tough to kill as far as things go. Not insane, but he's very tough to kill. If he pops off on like a Glimmer Cape or something like that, then he'd be ridiculously hard to kill. And himself and Tree and Ogre should run in there and start initiating, start absorbing some of that excess burst that the dire side have to offer. Nice little sentry wall being popped down there by Crystal Maiden, realizing that hey, we don't want to have them with a great initiation. Okay, Axe kind of whiffing the blink call there. Ooh, Pudge throwing a hook and nearly getting it. Tree, nice deny there on the ward. So this is when you want to hook out. You don't want to wait until essentially something's stuck in its guaranteed hook. Throwing out a hook, like I said, you miss 100% of the hooks that you don't throw, but stop. If you've got a Crystal Maiden who can hold one place, or Lina with a stun, just go for it. Look like they're just going to start wailing on the towers. Oh, Pudge just barely missing the tree then. If he had hooked the tree, would have revealed, and it would have been a really good overgrowth. Nice overgrowth there from the tree. Axe getting a good call off. Looks like the BKB popped from the Weaver. Weaver just going straight for that ham. Unfortunately, the hook is landing straight back on the Axe, and there's 2 down. Earth Spirit behind the tree, which is good. You want that to happen rather than your carries, but there was no sort of rebuttal on there, and it looks like the Death Prophet's going to go down. The Axe going to get a brilliant call off and absolutely just crush everyone. And this looks like it's game. This is pretty much GG. Expected pretty soon. Yeah, it is GG.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand. Radiant's mid tower's in trouble. Radiant's mid rags taking Radiant's mid rag. Didn't it?
This should have ended.
There goes the Radiant.
Right, looks like somebody's probably cancelling it on the other enemy team. They might be just a little bit annoyed that they have to wait for so long, but they've still got another chance in another game. So the boys in the Goon Sack essentially will be advancing to the next stage of the round robin, which will be them versus Lettuce. Now, if they beat Lettuce, they will advance. However, if they lose to Lettuce, then it'll be a rematch. Okay, so there we go. Game basically winning. Well played to the boys in the Goon Sack. We'll organise another game for the next one, and then we'll see who comes out on top. So the lower bracket's basically going there, and I'll just discuss this with the teams and sort of sort everything out there. Thanks for watching, and I'll put up the VOD in a bit. Cheers.